In the heart of a remote and uncharted cave system, a seasoned cave diver named Alex descended into the abyss. The entrance, a foreboding black maw, swallowed them whole as they ventured into the subterranean labyrinth. The cavern walls seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, and the water whispered tales of forgotten horrors. Guided by a slender lifeline that vanished into the inky darkness, Alex maneuvered through narrow passages and expansive chambers. The cave's secrets beckoned with an alluring yet ominous pull. This expedition was more than a routine dive. It was an exploration into the unknown, a journey to uncover the mysteries hidden beneath the Earth's surface. The descent led Alex to a vast chamber adorned with crystalline stalactites and stalagmites. The natural formations sparkled like diamonds, casting an ethereal glow in the beam of their flashlight. The beauty momentarily eclipsed the underlying unease that had settled in Alex's gut. As they marveled at the subterranean spectacle, a distant rumble echoed through the cave. The once still water rippled, creating an unsettling undercurrent that disrupted the serenity. Alex's senses heightened, and they strained to identify the source of the disturbance. A shadow moved in the periphery, a silhouette that defied the natural contours of the cave. Panic set in as Alex trained their flashlight on the intruder. A figure, draped in tattered remnants of a diving suit, hovered in the water. Lifeless eyes fixated on Alex, and the cavern seemed to pulse with an unnatural energy in response. The figure beckoned with spectral hands, its movements fluid yet disconcerting. A guttural whisper, a voice from the depths of the unknown, resonated in the cavernous space. The words were unintelligible, a language lost to time, but the message was clear. An ancient warning or a plea from the spectral depths. Alex's heart raced as they grappled with the impossibility of another presence in this desolate cave. Questions swirled in their mind, but before they could react, the figure drifted closer. The water warped around its form, and a suffocating sense of dread settled in the chamber. With a surge of adrenaline, Alex turned to flee, retracing their path through the winding passages. The once familiar cave had transformed into an alien landscape, shadows reaching out like spectral fingers. The whispers that had been mere echoes in the background now intensified, a cacophony of voices from the subterranean realm. As Alex breached the surface, gasping for air, the oppressive weight of the cave seemed to lift. However, a haunting awareness lingered. The cave held secrets beyond the reach of mortal understanding. The spectral figure remained etched in Alex's memory, a guardian of the ancient mysteries concealed within the heart of the earth. Days turned into nights, and the experience haunted Alex's waking hours. The whispers of the cave followed them, an incessant murmur that echoed in their mind. Sleep became elusive, as dreams were tainted by the submerged figure and the cryptic message it carried. Driven by an insatiable curiosity, Alex returned to the cave, the lifeline once again guiding them into the depths. The water seemed colder, and the passages more claustrophobic. The whispers transformed into an urgent chorus, a symphony of voices that pleaded or warned of the consequences that awaited those who dared to uncover the ancient secrets. As Alex reached the chamber where the spectral figure had appeared, a profound silence enveloped them. The water stilled, and the crystalline formations lost their luster. The lifeline, once a steadfast guide, seemed to quiver with an unseen force. And then, the whispers crescendoed into a singular voice, a haunting resonance that reverberated through the cavern. The figure materialized once more, a manifestation of the cave's ancient consciousness. It gestured towards a hidden passage, a gateway to the heart of the mysteries that had eluded Alex. As they entered the concealed chamber, The cave seemed to come alive with a pulsating energy. Hieroglyphs adorned the walls, telling a tale of a civilization lost in time. Alex realized that the cave was not merely a geological formation, but a repository of forgotten knowledge, a keeper of the secrets that connected the earth to realms beyond. The spectral figure faded into the shadows, its purpose fulfilled. Alex, now both witness and participant in the cave's enigma, stood on the precipice of understanding. The ancient knowledge beckoned, and the cave, once a source of fear, became a conduit to the mysteries that transcended the boundaries of the known world. And so, the cave diver delved into the depths, not as an intruder, but as a seeker of the arcane truths hidden in the subterranean heart of the earth. The lifeline, once a guide to the surface, became a thread connecting the mortal realm to the boundless mysteries that awaited beneath the surface. The cave, with its secrets and guardians, embraced Alex as a custodian of the forgotten tales etched into the very fabric of the earth.
The cave's mouth yawned wide, a black abyss that seemed to devour the feeble glow of my flashlight. A thrill tinged with trepidation coursed through my veins as I geared up for another descent into the unknown. As a seasoned cave diver, I had navigated through the subterranean depths, but this uncharted cavern held an ominous secret, an encounter that would etch itself into the darkest recesses of my memory. The water enveloped me, a chilling embrace that swallowed the echoes of my breath. My flashlight cut through the inky darkness, revealing the jagged contours of the cave walls. The guide rope, my lifeline to the surface, stretched into the abyss like a spectral thread. The sound of my own breathing, now a rhythmic pulse in the silence, accompanied my descent into the underworld. The cave's architecture twisted and contorted, a maze of passages that seemed to lead me deeper into the earth's bowels. My heart quickened, anticipation mingling with the foreboding sense that something lurked in the shadows. As I swam through the narrowing passages, the temperature dropped ominously, a supernatural chill that penetrated my wetsuit. My flashlight flickered, casting eerie shadows that danced on the cavern walls. The whispers of the cave, once distant echoes, now reverberated with an unsettling urgency. A sense of being watched crept over me, a gaze that transcended the physical darkness. I shook off the unease, attributing it to the natural anxieties that accompany cave diving. As I pressed forward, the water took on a murky quality, distorting my visibility. The cave's walls seemed to close in, tightening around me like a malevolent force. The guide rope, once a comforting presence, now felt like an ethereal noose, tethering me to the underworld. A distant rumble echoed through the cavern, a sound that seemed to emanate from the very core of the earth. The water stirred with an unnatural current, and an oppressive weight settled in the pit of my stomach. The cave, once a realm of fascination, had transformed into an alien landscape that sought to ensnare me. The guide rope tugged insistently, urging me deeper into the labyrinth. It was as if an unseen force guided my every move, propelling me toward a revelation shrouded in malevolence. The whispers intensified, coalescing into a guttural murmur that echoed through the water. A shadow moved in the periphery of my vision, a shape that defied the natural contours of the cave. Panic clawed at the edges of my consciousness as I trained my flashlight on the intruder. A pair of glowing eyes, crimson and malevolent, stared back at me from the darkness. The water seemed to churn with a demonic energy as the creature revealed itself, a grotesque demon with twisted horns and leathery wings. It hovered in the water, a grotesque silhouette against the cavern's walls. My mind reeled, grappling with the impossibility of a supernatural entity in the subterranean depths. The demon grinned, revealing rows of sharp, serrated teeth. Its guttural laughter echoed through the cavern, a sound that resonated with pure malevolence. I could feel its sinister gaze piercing through me, a gaze that promised an encounter beyond the realms of the living. Driven by a primal instinct, I retraced my path, the demon trailing behind. The cave, once a haven of exploration, became a claustrophobic nightmare. The whispers transformed into mocking taunts, and the water seemed to thicken with a malevolent intent. As I breached the surface, gasping for air, the demon lingered in the shadows beneath the water. The cavern, it seemed, held not only the echoes of the past, but entities that transcended the boundaries between worlds. The line between the living and the demonic had blurred in the subaqueous depths. Haunted by the demonic encounter, I emerged from the cave with a newfound awareness. The underworld, with its twisted inhabitants, had left an indelible mark on my psyche. The demon's laughter echoed in my nightmares, a reminder that some entities exist beyond the scope of rational understanding. Days turned into nights, and the demonic presence lingered in the recesses of my mind. Sleep became elusive, as dreams were tainted by visions of the cavern's malevolent inhabitant. The whispers followed me into waking hours, a ceaseless reminder of the supernatural encounter beneath the Earth's surface. Compelled by an insatiable curiosity, I returned to the cave, the guide rope leading me once again into the abyss. The water, now dense with an otherworldly energy, seemed to pulse with the heartbeat of the underworld. The demon, with its sinister grin, awaited in the shadows. As I descended into the subterranean depths, the demon emerged once more, its crimson eyes locking onto mine. The cavern's whispers intensified, revealing a dark prophecy entwined with the demon's presence. It gestured toward a hidden passage, a gateway to a realm where the boundaries between the living and the demonic converged. In that accursed chamber, the demon's laughter reached a crescendo, a symphony of malevolence that reverberated through the underworld. The walls bore witness to unholy rites and forgotten pacts, an ancient covenant that bound the demonic entity to the subterranean realm. As I surfaced, the demon faded into the shadows, its sinister laughter lingering in the cavern's depths. The underworld had revealed its darkest secret, and I, forever marked by the demonic encounter, emerged from the cave with a tale that transcended the boundaries of the known world. The demon's laughter continued to haunt me, a spectral echo that followed me into the surface world. The cave, with its supernatural inhabitants, stood as a testament to the thin veil between the living and the demonic. The malevolent encounter beneath the Earth's surface became a chilling reminder that some entities, once unleashed, linger in the shadows, waiting for the next unwitting soul to descend into the abyss.
The cave yawned before us, a dark and foreboding mouth that seemed to swallow the feeble beams of our flashlights. I exchanged nervous glances with my three friends, the thrill of the unknown mixing with a sense of trepidation that hung thick in the stale air. We were adventurers, seeking the adrenaline rush that only cave diving could provide. But little did we know that the depths we were about to plunge into held secrets darker than the abyss itself. The entrance to the cave was narrow, the jagged rocks on either side giving us an uneasy sense of claustrophobia. We tightened our wetsuits and secured our oxygen tanks, the echoing sound of our breathing amplifying the tension in the confined space. As we descended deeper into the cave, the world outside faded away, replaced by an inky blackness that swallowed any trace of natural light. The first few minutes were a symphony of eerie echoes and the rhythmic splash of our flippers against the water. We moved cautiously, our flashlights cutting through the darkness like fragile beams of hope. The walls of the cave seemed to close in on us, the rocks dripping with moisture that clung to our skin like the cold fingers of unseen specters. As we swam deeper, the cave took on a surreal quality. Stalactites hung like monstrous teeth from the ceiling, and the water shimmered with an otherworldly glow, courtesy of the bioluminescent organisms that thrived in this hidden realm. The beauty of the cave was hypnotic, but beneath the surface, a malevolent force stirred. Our journey took an unexpected turn when we stumbled upon a cavern, its entrance shrouded in an unnatural darkness that seemed to defy the ambient glow of the bioluminescent creatures. Intrigued, we ventured into the cavern, our flashlights flickering as if protesting against the encroaching shadows. The cavern opened up into a vast chamber, the walls adorned with strange markings that pulsed with an otherworldly energy. Unsettled, we exchanged uneasy glances, our excitement waning as an oppressive atmosphere settled over us. It was then that we heard it, a low, guttural growl that reverberated through the chamber. Fear gripped us, and our flashlights trembled in our hands as we scanned the cavern for the source of the ominous sound. That's when we saw them, grotesque, humanoid figures emerging from the shadows. Their eyes glowed with an unnatural intensity, and their movements were unnaturally fluid, as if defying the laws of physics. Panic set in, and we swam frantically towards the exit, our minds racing with terror. The creatures pursued us with relentless determination, their growls echoing in the narrow passages of the cave. As we navigated the twisting tunnels, the once familiar terrain seemed to morph and shift, disorienting us and heightening our sense of dread. One by one, the members of our group were snatched by the creatures, their anguished cries echoing through the cavern. I swam faster, the adrenaline pumping through my veins as I desperately sought an escape. The darkness seemed to close in on me, and the water felt like a suffocating embrace. In the heart-pounding race for survival, I emerged from the cave, gasping for air. I looked around, expecting my friends to follow, but there was only silence. The cave entrance loomed ominously behind me, a gaping maw that hid the horrors within. I was alone, haunted by the memory of what lurked in the depths. As I stumbled away from the cave, the moonlight revealed my trembling form. The cold realization sank in. The cave held secrets beyond our understanding, and the friends I had ventured in with were lost to its unforgiving grasp. The horror of that fateful dive would forever linger, a chilling reminder of the darkness that dwells beneath the surface, waiting to claim those who dare to explore its mysteries.